This helps me know that nothing bad will happen even if I get weird. There is an abundance of knowledge about all physical boundaries. Anything to do with kissing, hugging, touching, and deeper, more intense things. Is there anything about this? Hello, my name is Vihan. If you're seeing my face for the first time, I make videos about how we can be more like Jesus on this corrupt planet. Certainly people have talked about emotional boundaries, but I feel not as much, and I wish I knew how serious it was 4-5 years ago. I didn't know there were emotional boundaries, and I let myself just... That's the sound of guns shooting my heart. I've shared with you all that I've never been in a dating relationship. Yes. However, I have had some friends whom I was not aware that because I didn't have any emotional boundaries with myself, they got the completely wrong idea, and they themselves didn't have emotional boundaries, and it was just really messed up. And when these things get messed up, you end up feeling like, well, at least I ended up feeling as if I'd been through some terrible heartbreak. And in reality, I think it was. You don't have to go through a physical relationship to have a heartbreak. So to avoid such things from happening to you, if you have been blessed with not going through that, and if you have already gone through it, which I'm sure most of you probably have, not to worry, there's still no harm in continuing to protect ourselves and at least knowing about these things. There's a really nice passage in the Bible, I'll put it up on the screen. It's about the crowds thronging after Jesus, if I'm not mistaken. That was the context. And it says, "But Jesus did not commit himself to man because he knew what was in them." There's no better way to put it. Jesus was the very embodiment of love, right? When you have boundaries, it doesn't mean you cut yourself off people and you don't let them see your vulnerability and you don't say I love you. It's not that. It's knowing how much you need to bond with someone, how much you need to share with someone, and how much you need to expect from someone. If you're anything like me, I used to think that whoever it was, once I got a little close, I would feel like there's absolutely nothing wrong with this person, like no flaw, nothing. And that's very dangerous. I don't think many people struggle with that, but I really struggled with that. I don't see others struggling with it, honestly. No, actually I do. Why do people get so offended and hurt all the time? Because they expected something else. They expected something better. We keep forgetting that each one of us has a lot of flaws. We're all flawed, broken people. You know exactly what a mess you are. So do I. But when you friend someone, even if they're just your friends, you tend to think the world of them. Now, when it comes to the opposite gender, and if you're gay, I'm sorry, I don't know how to talk about this. I'm just going to say the opposite gender, meaning the side you're attracted to. When it comes to the opposite gender, right, it gets even more amplified, your admirations, and because all these feelings are involved, and you just have this huge, massive blind side to all flaws. Now, if you don't know what is in man, or woman for that matter, when I say man, talking about humankind, when you know what's inside man, you will be a little more careful. When you don't know and you feel you can share whatever and it'll not be taken in a bad way or it'll not be used against you, no. So the first thing I think we need to realize is people are just like us. Okay? No one is perfect. Everyone's equally messy. So if you're looking for a friendship or a spouse or a boyfriend or a girlfriend who's going to complete you and make everything alright, make you happy, that's not gonna happen. That's not why marriage was invented by God. That's not why He made man and woman. It wasn't to find happiness in each other. As He put it, he felt Adam was lonely and he gave him Eve. That's beautiful, but it doesn't mean that Eve made him happy. Eve was the cause of a lot of pain for Adam, and vice versa. Was Adam the cause of a lot of pain? I don't know, it doesn't say. But I'm sure there must have been some tough times. So once we know that man is not to be trusted completely with our whole heart, that place is only for God. Once we get that in our head, pat it down, package it and tie it with a bow. Now we can move on to our first guideline. I'll give you 2 guidelines in making emotional boundaries. Something that will guide how you make emotional boundaries.